Hello, P2. It is a wonderful Wednesday. Let's talk about time. Did you know that it's not the same time in Sydney, Australia, maybe not even the same day that it is here in the United States, in Tulsa, Oklahoma? There's a 15-hour time difference between the time in Tulsa and the time in Sydney. If it's 10 o'clock in the morning in Tulsa, it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Sydney. So while you're possibly doing your homework or your schoolwork after you eat breakfast, people in Sydney have already gone to bed and it's the middle of the night for them. So if it's 10 o'clock in the morning in Tulsa and it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Sydney, Australia, the dates are also different. It would still be April 15th here, but April 16th already in Australia, in Sydney. These differences are due to time zones. So as we travel from east to west or from west to east, as we travel around the globe, across the globe, we arrive in different time zones. Having different time zones means that no matter where you live on the planet, your noon is in the middle of the day and midnight is in the middle of the night. There's an expression, high noon, which means when the sun is highest in the sky, and that's at noon each day. If time zones are something that interests you, possibly you could do some further research on time zones. Let's go ahead and say our pledges together. And I want to apologize to you if this flag has not been turned the right direction in some of the videos that I have posted. Hopefully this stand is going to help us with that. Sometimes the camera kind of turns it around. So let's go ahead and stand and salute and say our pledges together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now to the Oklahoma state flag. I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all people. And do you remember what flag this is the symbol of? It's the symbol of the country of Australia. And remember a fun fact about Australia, that it is a country and a continent. For the past few days, we've talked about the Great Barrier Reef that's found in Queensland, Australia, the Sydney Opera House that's found in Sydney, Australia. I have a couple of pages out of this Coral Reefs Scholastic book that I'm going to share with you. So put on those listening ears. And first I'll just read the back cover. Coral reefs are sometimes called cities under the sea. This is because they are homes to thousands of different types of animals. Coral reefs are probably the most action-packed parts of the ocean. And what's more, even though coral looks and feels like rock, it's not. Coral is alive. Turn the pages to learn about this amazing part of the ocean and learn new smart words along the way. So we're going to focus on just a couple of pretty pages. Let's visit coral reefs. The Great Barrier Reef is the largest coral reef ecosystem in the world. It extends about 1,400 miles down the east coast of Australia. This reef is so big that astronauts can see it from outer space. The Great Barrier Reef is actually made up of about 3,000 separate coral reefs and 900 islands. Remember, an island is a piece of land surrounded by water. It is incredibly rich in biodiversity, and that's our smart word for this little section. Biodiversity means a variety of living things. That word diverse means many different things. And bio usually has to do with, in this case, underwater. In 1981 was the first coral reef ecosystem to be declared a World Heritage Site. This was a status granted by the United Nations to places of international importance that deserve protection. So this Great Barrier Reef that houses all of these living things need protection by the government. There needed to be laws and rules to protect those things. And it's such a beautiful place that people want to visit there, but even visiting had to be limited to certain areas of it. There are about 450 kinds of hard coral and 150 kinds of soft coral at the Great Barrier Reef. Nearly 1,500 different kinds of fish swim in the waters. Crocodiles and sea snakes make their homes there. There are over 100 species of sharks and their relatives, the rays. Because it has so many islands, the Great Barrier Reef is also home to more than 200 different types of birds, including pelicans, gulls, and terns. Many kinds of whales are also found at the Great Barrier Reef. So that's just a few examples of all the living things found at the Great Barrier Reef. You're going to need your whiteboard or paper to do a few math problems. Remember our strategies. Sometimes we draw a picture to solve a problem. We're going to do that today. So just make a big rectangle. And we're going to be putting some coins in this rectangle. And let's draw two big circles. And let's put a Q under each circle. Q for quarter. We know. Let's look quickly at our money poster, just to get our minds thinking about money. The penny's worth 1 cent, nickel worth 5 cents, the dime worth 10 cents, the quarter worth 25 cents, our half dollar, 50 cents, and then there's a gold dollar worth $1, a coin worth $1. So with that in mind, let's continue on. First, you draw the two circles for quarters. And then let's do 1, 2, 3 tiny circles for dimes. Bigger than the dimes. Let's draw 1, 2, 3, 4 nickels. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 pennies. Now let's label what these are worth, what their value is. 1 quarter's worth 25 cents. So 25 plus 25. A dime worth 10 cents. 10, 10, and 10. Nickels worth 5 cents. 5, 5, 5, 5. And pennies worth 1 cent each. 25 plus 25 is 50 cents. 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30 cents. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 cents in nickels. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 pennies. This makes it a little bit easier to add together. Can you do it horizontally, or do you need to put it in vertical form? That is up to you. If we have it in vertical form, we always start with that ones column. 4 plus 3 zeros is going to give us 4. We see that 3 plus 2 equals 5. So 5 plus 5 equals 10. There's 2 ways to write the answer. 104 cents or the $, 1 decimal point 04. There's your 2 answers. Let's go ahead and take out your little writing words booklet. If you're running out of space in here, please ask your parents to staple a few more blank pages in it. We will continue to add words to this until school is out. So I know we have been adding quite a few. So far this week, we've added the words nature and wild from our Word a Day book. Nature is a noun. Remember, a noun names a person, place, or thing. Nature's a thing, so nature is a noun. And then we had the word wild yesterday. She's a wild child. Wild is an adjective. It describes a noun. And today we have a verb. Remember, a verb shows action. And the word is nibble. Nibble. You nibble your food when you eat in small bites. My pet mouse, or maybe Jade's pet rat, nibbles on a piece of cheese. Which ones might nibble? Would a wolf eating its prey? I don't think so. What about a queen eating a cookie? I think she would nibble, just take little tiny bites. A person in a pie eating contest, probably not gonna nibble. A child tasting a new food, I think so, just a little bite at a time. My cute little 9-month-old great nephew is learning to eat some different foods. And when he gets something new, he just takes a little bite to decide if he likes it or not. What about a bear with a fish? No, a bear with a fish, he's gonna gobble it down. So nibble is our new word to add into your writing words this week. Nibble, nibble. Yesterday you added a word, milliner, milliner. Do you remember what that means? It's a person who makes hats, especially ladies' hats, a milliner. Went along with our hat day. And yesterday I introduced you to a new book, some little reading passages. There's some great information. These are all factual passages, so there's things to learn from them, from the information, but also to help you with your listening, and then answering some questions at the end of each passage. Today, I chose the one about the sun, the earth, and the moon. So listen carefully. I'll be asking questions. The sun comes up in the morning. The sun goes down at night. This is because Earth spins on its axis. Spins on its axis. It takes Earth 1 day, which is 24 hours, to spin 1 time on its axis. When we see sunlight, our part of Earth faces the sun. When it's dark, we are facing away from the sun. The moon revolves around our Earth. The sun is bright, so we don't always see the moon in the day, but sometimes we can see the moon and the sun in the same sky. Earth follows a big circle around the sun. It takes Earth a year to go all the way around the sun. That's a long trip. Of how many days in a year? 365 days. And remember how we did yesterday? I'll read the question and then the answers. And each answer is identified by a letter, A, B, C, or D. All you need to do is write down A, B, C, or D as your answer. Earth revolves around the A, moon, B, sun, C, earth, or D, morning. Earth revolves around the A, moon, B, sun, C, earth, or D, morning. If you have letter B, you are correct. The earth revolves around the sun. Number 2, there are 24 hours in A, month, B, year, C, day, or D, week. It's letter C, day. There's 24 hours in a day. Number 3, the moon is hidden in the day because A, the earth is bright, B, because it is shy, C, because it's cold, D, because the sun is bright. D is the correct answer. It's because the sun is bright. On days when the sun is not super bright, you might be able to see the moon and the sun. Number 4, our last question. Earth circles the sun in A, a day, B, 2 years, C, 365 days, D, 24 hours. How long does it take for the whole earth to circle the sun? That's 365 days, or 1 year. In our time together today, we have crossed time zones across the world to the land down under in Australia, where we visited the Great Barrier Reef. We've also visited wild animals that nibble on plants found in nature, and we've been to the moon and back. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye for now.